May 5th, 2025, Cinco de Mayo. So I started working with Lexi from Pro Physique in January of 2023. Now, she is a bodybuilding coach, and even though I'm a fitness professional, I wanted to have a coach because there's a phrase, even a coach needs a coach. And even though I'm very familiar with weightlifting and fitness in general, and even, healthy eating, all this stuff, I wanted to know the specifics of what bikini bodybuilding athletes did, because I've always had a dream of being a competitor. And, I think I wasn't quite realistic about knowing what was required, and I thought I already had a lot of muscle on my body, but apparently I didn't. And so I have been building for the past 2 years. Again, I've been working with Lexi for 2 years now, and not just building, because actually I've been trying to lose weight that whole time too, back and forth. And so I don't know, I haven't been the best client, and mostly because of the eating side of things. I love the training. Here I am, I'm supposed to be making my smoothie while I talk. But I really like sweets, and I really like to snack. And also I have a history of kind of using food for stress, like emotional eating, or just, stress relief, or, oh, that looks good, and oh, I had a bad day, and just nervous energy. That's what I would turn to, a spoonful of peanut butter or a handful of chocolate chips. And it was never just one handful or one spoonful. And if I got into that mode, I wasn't tracking. So even though I am used to using MyFitnessPal to track my food, I was either on tracking or off tracking, and not consistent enough really to be an athlete, to be quite honest. I need to be honest with myself. So I finally, at this point in time, it was April, I guess, when I started really asking her. I asked her, look, can I be a competitor or not? Am I close enough or not? And she said, you know what? Absolutely you can. If I adopt the same mindset that I had a couple years ago when I was doing 75 hard, which I did right before I started working with her, and that I could definitely be competitive, I would need to be around a weight of like 120 to 122. Right now, today, 138.4. Not my happy place, but not a terrible place either, because, there have been times in my life when I have been well into the 140s, or just hovering around 140, or hovering around 145, or hovering around 150, or even 155. And I went over 160 twice in the past, I don't know how many handfuls of years. I never stayed there long, but again, if I wasn't tracking and I was just working out, but really not being accountable to the eating side of things, I can gain. And, I think also sometimes people have said they don't even think I look that big when I'm up at my high weights, because maybe I carried okay, or I have so much muscle somehow, or I'm proportional that it looks still okay-ish, but it's not where I want to be. It's not where I feel like my best. And I do like to challenge myself. So, I think that phrase is a fish have cut bait, right? Like, why am I doing all this if I'm not actually going to try to compete, right? Like, I think I need to do it, and I need to see if I can, and see if I'm cut out for it, see if I actually like it. And then if I don't have to do it anymore. But I think it's good for me to at least experience, putting it all in, going all in. So I will call today day one of going all in with that 75 hard mindset. I'm an athlete, and I can do what's required. Or I'm an athlete and I will do what's required. So, so this is day one of my journey, and I will tell you right now that I'm going to be doing this like vlogging during the whole process, but I'm not, if I don't stick with it in these first couple of weeks, I may never even publish all this. So I actually, I'm not even wearing the great thing, but here is the posing routine, okay, for Fit Model. So this foot, let's see, out like this, be totally straight. This foot in front, but then out on the toe. Pull my rib cage up. Okay, this hand goes on my hip. You want to be able to see my whole elbow. This is supposed to be relaxed by my side. Kick that hip out a lot. Rotate my torso. This is the front pose. And then you got to switch to 3 more things. So here, here. Here. And back here again. So, the posing should get a lot better, and I shall show posing in actual workout clothes and in actual bikini and actual posing suit that I purchased that is Brazilian cut that shows way more of my butt than I think this butt is ready to be exposed. So I may not pose in that posing suit until well along the way when I am better. But I think I work well under pressure. I think I work well under parameters. I need to get my mindset in gear that I am an athlete. I'm going to do what's required and just do it. So this video, little blogging I'm going to do is going to be part of my accountability. And we shall begin. The show I'm shooting for is on August 23rd. It's about 16 weeks away, and I can do it. Okay, so today, Monday, May 12th, 2025. Oh, Badger, come here. So Badger and I are updating you on what is day 1 of week 2 of my prep for competing and fit model category for NPC bodybuilding, women's bodybuilding in August. I'm hoping to do an August 16th or 23rd show in either Laurel, Maryland or Towson, Maryland. And so, yeah, so I finished what I'm considering week 1 out of 15. So I'm trying to do like maybe a little video blog every week. This is what I look like today, post-workout. Today my weight was 137.2. My coach Lexi says my target weight for showtime would be 120 to 122. My weight got as low as 136 this week, so my average was 137.0, whereas last week it was 138.4. So, I'm pleased. I'm pleased because I ate 100% on plan this whole week. And in fact, the phrase that stuck in my mind that I'm going to make a reel about with some of my clients is what would happen if you fell in love with the process. Because my goal is to fall in love with this process. I had to forego some things this week. We had Mother's Day, and one of my sons was in town. We went out for drinks where I only had water. I made them pancakes. I didn't eat any. We went out to dinner, but I ate my own meal plan dinner before we went, and then I just sat there and enjoyed their company and drank water while they ate the meal. And you know what? Who cares? What's the big deal that I didn't eat restaurant food this weekend? Who cares? I have a goal that is more important to me and that is making me excited. I'm picture myself on stage and I'm going for it. So you know what? That requires some sacrifice. So I'm ready to sacrifice. And making these videos is helping me to stay accountable. So yes, so the posing is this leg out, straight, this leg straight up and over, pointed. Let me back up a little bit. Pointed, and I was doing it like this before, and I think Lexi said toe out a little bit. Then pop this hip way out. I always like to lift up and then rotate. It's got to be rotated here. Lifting up this. So you can't have it that your arm can't be seen. You got to rotate this so the arm can keep the popping. And this is supposed to hang in a natural way, right? Now, how natural does this look? And then second pose is bringing it in here. And third pose, my feet are supposed to switch to a T. Stick my butt out like that, or my feet is more like a T. Switch to the back pose. Arching my back. I wonder if my hands are the right amount of bent. Then the right leg comes in, steps forward and pivot, and then back to this. So, here I am. Finished 1 week of this mock prep. This is what my body looks like. Here we go. Today is Monday, May 19th, 2025. I have now finished 2 weeks of my first ever prep. My weight Today was 134.0. I am really pleased with that weight. Down 2 full pounds from last Monday. I really had some ups and downs though during the week, because even though it was 136.0 last Monday, it had gone up 0.2, up 0.2, up like a whole pound. I was 138 point something, I think, like last Wednesday, and then I was low energy that day. I ended up actually taking a nap and thinking, you know what? Even though I thought I was doing a 10 out of 10 for sticking to my macros that first week and a half, I was sneaking probably a little few things that wasn't quite measured, and I thought, you know what, I'm supposed to be doing 10 out of 10, I need to do 10 plus out of 10, which, so starting on Wednesday, not a drop over what is measured for my macros, and my weight came back down. You know, my weigh-in on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and now Monday today went down, 134.0. Rewarded for doing what I'm supposed to do. I mean, if you're not willing to do the work, how can you expect to get the results, right? So today's the beginning of week 3. I'm really happy to be going into it at 134, but you know, I've been 134 before, not a lot. I mean, I like being in the low 130s, but when I was in the 134-ish last time, probably, you know, I haven't really maintained that in a while. But I think I have more muscle than I had before. So I am really looking forward to just showing myself what I can do, being again even more laser focused on hitting my macros, which is my struggle. The workouts aren't my struggle at all. I love the lifting. I even love the cardio. I love all of that. But I'm doing this to challenge myself. Another thing that's interesting about this week is I got in the mail my posing suit. Up until now, I've just been using a regular bathing suit, a regular bikini. It isn't huge coverage, but compared to this one, it's Brazilian cut, which is actually less coverage than the Fit Model suit. The Fit Model suit is going to have a little more coverage than this Brazilian. So this was pretty darn shocking to have to try this on and take pictures in it and videos in it. And I will say, it is low in the front, and when you try to, comes up in the back, it barely covers where the end of my crack is, and it barely covers the top of my lady parts here. So it's quite shocking. And even when I adjusted the straps, all that did was make it saggier, because the actual distance of fabric from the top of here to the top of here is not that much. I have to get used to it. But I think when I get a real suit for my actual competition, I think they are custom made, and I think it's actually measured. I think that since this is not a custom suit for me, I do think I need a little more length. Maybe that I would feel more comfortable with. But I posed in it, and I took my progress pictures in it today, so we'll see. Let me practice my posing for this video. I'm still totally sweaty. I just came back from the gym. So the posing, here we go. So this foot angled out, all my weight. This one here, elbow here, and it should be, make sure it's all visible. This is just, I forgot, pop the hip way back, angle myself, rise up. This should dangle in a relaxed way. That's position 1, position 2, position 3, position 4, position 5, and back. Not sure if this is supposed to be like this or like this. I think she said angled out is where the quad looks better. So again, 134.0. Of course, I'm always still a little worried about all the stuff back here, but hopefully it'll get better and better. Tuesday, May 27th. I'm a day late with my update for the start of week 4. So it just was a holiday weekend. I had a great week. My average weight last week was down by like 3 pounds. However, my weight from actually last Monday to yesterday was up 0.2. But I am just in a new range right now where 133, 134 is where I'm sitting, and I expect this week to go down definitely from that. So training is going great. I'm feeling great in the gym. I actually ate off plan yesterday a little bit, not crazy, but it was the first time ever after 3 full weeks, and I am not letting that start a slide. I am going to be super focused. Also, I'm going to be decreasing my cardio. I had been doing an hour on the elliptical every day, in addition to evening walks, not fast walks, but I was wearing a weighted vest. And Lexi, my coach, said, you might feel great now, but let's conserve a little bit of energy. Let's conserve some of our strategies for later, because if I continue doing an hour of cardio every single day and plus walks in the evening, and my weight loss slows, then what are we going to do next after that? When it gets further into prep, we would have to pile on even more cardio and cut calories even more. So we want to see what my weight does this week by cutting back. I'm going to be doing 35 minutes of cardio, but I'm going to up the intensity because, on the elliptical for an hour, I've been watching a show on my iPad. I probably wasn't, working as hard as I could. So I'm going to go only 35 minutes, 6 days a week is what she wants me to do, and instead of 7, and increase the intensity. And then the walks in the evenings are okay, but not getting myself above 15,000 steps a day total. She wants me to average 12 to 15,000 steps a day. So, and have 1 full rest day, which I know I'm supposed to be having. So I don't want to be overzealous right now and burn out. We want to have some strategies left to pull out of our bag later in prep, and we want me to feel good this whole time. So I am feeling good. I'm feeling energized. I am excited for this week 4. And just should be grinding. I've been practicing my posing a bit. I need to practice that even more. I'm going to make another appointment so that I can practice the walk, which I haven't really learned yet, and I'm not really wearing my clothes, but for my regular pose, hip out, rotated, this is here, starting position, and here, bring this foot in and turn, rear pose, in. But what I have to learn is getting some personality into it, and then also learning the walk. And so more fun to come.